Hi everyone, my name is Carly Sharp. I graduated from SSS back in 2016, and 2 years later I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington with a bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in leadership and management. I'll skip ahead another 2 years, and I am now the director of the Big Rock Kids Billfish Tournament in Morehead City, North Carolina. My interest in leadership developed strongly while I attended SSS. I served in leadership positions in student government, FFA, HOSA, Ashboro, and Honor Society. I was also active in the tennis and swim team. One of my favorite memories at SSS was the Ashboro Student Leadership Retreat. I participated all 4 years of high school. If you aren't familiar with it, I would definitely ask Mr. Ferbert about it. It's a weekend filled with adventures, personal development, and just learning from your peers, just in a diverse environment. When I first started at SSS, I was a timid, shy, kept to myself and my close friends. My sister Claire was also there at the same time that I was, and I looked to her for navigation all the time. One thing I knew for certain, though, was that I wanted to be a marine biologist or a veterinarian whenever I grew up. So I took all the necessary courses like they tell you to, animal science, biology, chemistry, and also for one of those classes, I was able to do an internship at a local hog farm. And my junior year, I had the opportunity to work at the aquarium in Pineville Shores, North Carolina, which is about 2 hours from Smithfield, on the coast of North Carolina. So I packed my bags and worked there for the summer, but it didn't take too long for me to realize that being a veterinarian was just not for me. So back to the drawing board I went. My senior year at SSS, I got really involved in leadership positions. Honestly, I probably bit off more than what I could chew. But you live and you learn, and one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences was being a co-chairman for the Ashboro Leadership Retreat with my good friend Isaac Jimenez. Isaac and I worked hard to put together a weekend that our peers would enjoy, and just learn from each other and just the different experiences that SSS has provided for everyone. Looking back, I attribute who I am today to getting involved in leadership roles outside of my comfort zone. If I hadn't have put myself out there, I would still be that shy, timid freshman that was just too afraid of her own potential. And that's why I decided to major in leadership and management in college. However, that definitely did not come without its ups and downs. While attending SSS, I was dually enrolled at Johnston Community College. I strongly encourage you all to learn about that, the Career and College Promise program, also known as the CCP program. It's a great way to earn free college credit while you're enrolled at SSS. That enabled me to graduate 2 years early and save a whole lot of money. By the time I graduated from SSS and started my freshman year at UNCW, I already had about 55 course hours saved up. And that enabled me to graduate early. So whenever I started my freshman year at UNCW, I decided, I want to graduate before I turn 20, try and do it as quickly as possible. So it's always good to set a goal and figure out a way to accomplish that. And with the help of my guidance counselors at UNCW, support from my parents and my friends and family, I worked hard, took summer classes, and ended up graduating at the age of 19 in the spring of 2018 in just 2 short years with my bachelor's degree, which it flew by. But all of that I was able to accomplish due to the hard work and dedication and work that I put in while I was there. After college, I still wasn't really sure what the future held exactly, or what I wanted to do with my life. After all, it was the first time I hadn't been in school in about 15 years, so I can imagine many of you seniors feel like that right now. The good news is that you don't have to have it all figured out right in this moment. I wish I had someone to tell me that whenever I was sitting in y'all's seats right now. You may graduate and try something you think you'll love just to figure out it's not the career or the right choice for you. And that's okay. You live and you learn again. The important thing is to remember that you must stay motivated and interested in developing yourself and finding what makes you happy. It's always good to have a plan and a backup plan and just put in the work to figure out what you want to do one day. So I graduated college and all I could think was, now what? I really worked that hard for a piece of paper. So I asked my mentor for guidance and he put me in contact with a pharmaceutical company up in Chicago. I interviewed and was offered a sales position making about $45,000 plus bonuses. But I really struggled with deciding if I wanted to move up there or not. I would be away from my family farther than I had ever been, away from my friends, and just in a completely different world that I had ever been exposed to. Y'all are all from Smithfield, so you understand the small town mentality. And just moving up to a big city like that would definitely be a big change for myself. But pharmaceutical sales is a great opportunity for someone who's interested in making phone calls, getting in front of doctors, nurses, and just putting themselves out there like that. It's a great career to get into, and it has a lot of potential for income. At the end of the day, though, I decided not to take that position up in Chicago. So I was still on the hunt for a job. And not too long after graduating from UNCW and looking for a job, Hurricane Florence hit. So that just added a whole other challenge to my life. So after Hurricane Florence, I decided to volunteer back in Emerald Isle, where I'd grown up vacationing and just always loved being here. So I volunteered to help with debris cleanup. There was a lot of starvation and access to food wasn't necessarily easy to come across in this area at that time. So I really got interested in living here through volunteering with that, and decided that Emerald Isle was the community that I wanted to call home one day. But again, I needed to find a job, and I applied to probably 30 different places in Carteret County where Emerald Isle is, and just all around really to try and find a job. And couldn't find anything, but one day it hit me. I love watching Fixer Upper and, house selling shows where they showcase all the glamorous lifestyle of buying and selling homes. So I decided to go back and earn my real estate license. Overall, it's relatively easy to do. You complete about 90 hours of classes and pass a state exam, and then you're a licensed real estate broker in the state of North Carolina. Overall, it cost me probably about $1,000, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. In the class you can take with pretty flexible hours. It's definitely a great career if you're interested in sales, and just being dedicated to picking up the phone, calling people, and working the people that you know. After I got my real estate license, I was hired by a real estate firm on the coast where I worked as a closing coordinator. Basically, I ensured that sellers and buyers had everything they needed, whether it was scheduling inspections, walkthroughs, open houses, just the whole process of buying and selling a home. Outside of work, it was strange living so far from home without family and good friends that I could really rely on. So I decided to get involved in a few clubs that piqued my interest. The first one is Surfrider. They are dedicated to keeping our oceans healthy and our beaches clean by hosting monthly beach sweeps and cleanups. And the second was Ducks Unlimited, which focuses on conservation and preservation of wetlands and the waterfowl species. So through Ducks Unlimited, they host the Ban the Billfish tournament. And I volunteered with them my first year living down here. And fishing has always definitely been an interest of mine in the offshore lifestyle. If you would have asked me my senior year of college what my ideal job would be, it would be in the fishing or outdoor industry. So I volunteered with them and got involved with that tournament. And that's where I actually met my current boss, Crystal, and one of our board members, Randy. Met them while I was volunteering, and they just seemed to like me. They asked me a few questions, mentioned that there was an open position at Big Rock where I work now. And so afterwards, I wanted to let them know that I was definitely interested in working with them one day. So I sent them a handwritten thank you note, which I strongly recommend you do. It's a great way, a great sentiment to show your appreciation to someone and to just be genuine. So I sent them that note and ended up having a few interviews and met with Crystal, and not too long after, I was hired to be the retail relations and marketing coordinator for the tournament. After a couple days there, I realized that the position would be a little bit challenging, managing both the retail side and the marketing side. So for my retail responsibilities, I managed the online store, the inventory, the product photography, picking out things to carry in the store, merchandise, and designing that. The store does a little over $1 million a year, so we're pretty busy. I'd definitely say summer is our peak time. But that's a lot of my responsibility for the retail side. And for the marketing, I've worked with participants and sponsors to create content that engage our spectators. Right now we have about 90,000 followers on Facebook and 50,000 on Instagram, and it's growing daily. A lot of my work, though, goes into preparing for the week-long tournament in June. This past June was my first tournament as an employee, and things were a little untypical due to COVID. The week of the tournament, I worked from about 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., but it's true what they say, time flies when you're having fun. And thankfully, my hard work and dedication was recognized. The Big Rock works through a governing board of directors. And at the end of this summer, they voted to establish another billfish tournament to promote sport fishing in kids, which I have always loved working with. I was a babysitter in high school, and growing up, I also thought I wanted to be a teacher there for a while. So I was very interested in being a part of the kids tournament, and shortly after they named me the director of the kids tournament. So a few of my responsibilities for that include planning the events and parties, managing media outlets, ordering merchandise, and being the go-to person for anyone related to the tournament. Right now I'm doing a lot for sponsorship and engaging people and getting the word out and promoting sport fishing for kids. I'm very, very, very fortunate to have the schedule that I do. Right now I work from around 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Some days I go in early, some days I stay in late, but I'm overall very fortunate to have that schedule. I'm salaried, but I do receive an additional commission for sponsorships sold, which is great for me because I love talking to people, reaching out, and it keeps my job interesting and competitive for myself to see what I can earn for the tournament. The most rewarding part of my career, however, is seeing the impact that my organization has on the community. If you're not familiar with the Big Rock Tournament, I highly recommend giving it a Google or visit our website at www.thebigrock.com. We have given around $6 million back to charity in the last years or previous years, and every year we give hundreds of thousands of dollars back to our community, whether it's to schools, to domestic violence shelters, to food pantries. The list just goes on and on. It's really a great organization to work for. Some other cool things about it: this year we gave away $3.3 million in prize money, and also Michael Jordan fished, which was insane. Took a selfie with him, so we're basically best friends now. Overall, there's not really any training that I could easily recommend for my job, or any job for that matter, except for the ones that you have to be trained for, like being a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer. I do, however, have a few things that I wish I could tell myself while I was sitting in the very desk that you are at SSS. First of that being, life is good, act like it. I used to get so caught up in others' opinions, or if the slightest thing didn't go how I had planned it to, it was just ruined in general. And that's no way to live. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't stress over it. Life goes on. There's good all around you, which leads to my next tidbit. Count your blessings, every last one and every little thing. Sometimes you compare yourself to people you see online, or your friends, or people who had their life together and know exactly what they're going to do after high school. But you've got a lot of good going for yourself as well. But don't just sit back and wait for those opportunities to happen. Make good things happen. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Get involved, be active, and challenge yourself daily. Also, be kind. This is so simple, y'all, but it really will get you far in life. If you disagree with someone, fine, be kind. If you find someone annoying, just take it and be kind. If someone makes you mad, just be nice back to them. It's really a simple principle that will get you very far in life. Also, have a plan, but don't be scared of change. Change can be good. Go off course sometimes. Try something new, and don't be scared of deviating from what you've been told you should do all your life. If you've planned your whole life and knew exactly what was going to happen and when it was going to happen, how boring would that be? Overall, thank y'all for listening. I know each and every one of you have a bright future ahead of you and are completely capable of accomplishing incredible things in your future. If there's anything I can ever help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. Go Spartans!